June 1984. A parking lot at NSA headquarters. Trucks are arriving with packages from Moscow. Inside these packages lies the most sophisticated spy device America has ever seen. This was the height of the Cold War. The American embassy in Moscow, 10 floors of secrets constantly under Soviet surveillance. For decades, staff found bugs everywhere. Furniture, walls, concrete beams. The Soviets even blasted the building with microwaves from across the street. In 1983, French diplomats discovered sophisticated bugs in their teletype machines, basically remote typewriters weighing hundreds of pounds, perfect places to hide surveillance equipment. They tipped off the Americans, warning that similar devices were likely compromised. President Reagan personally signed off on the mission. He gave the job to Walter G. Dealey, NSA's Deputy Director of Communication Security. Dealey had personally contacted Reagan promising, "We can find that damn bug." The plan was brilliant but risky. For months, NSA agents x-rayed tons of equipment from the US Embassy in Moscow. Then one technician saw something that made him say, "Holy fuck." A simple aluminum bar and a typewriter, completely stuffed with electronics. So how do you record that? The Soviets had turned an IBM typewriter into a spy machine, while you put an array of tiny magnetometers into this bar. The Soviets didn't have a memory device that could hold multiples of 6, so exactly 30, 36, or 42 bits. 32 was all they had. This encoder would compress a 6-bit message into a 4-bit one. As soon as that memory got filled up, its contents would be sent through a miniature antenna to be picked up by a larger antenna on the embassy's roof. The sophistication of the whole thing by 80s standards was just off the charts. The NSA had no idea that the Soviets were capable of creating anything like that, let alone secretly installing it in embassy equipment. This was a massive wake-up call for NSA. While Americans were still thinking old school, literally digging tunnels under the Soviet embassy in Operation Monopoly, the USSR was already in the digital future. Project Gunman's legacy lives on in everything we see today. Stuxnet, the billion-dollar virus that destroyed Iran's nuclear program. Massive surveillance programs monitoring global communications. All of this, every piece of malware, every surveillance program, every cyber weapon in America's arsenal traces back to that parking lot in 1984. One tiny device, smaller than a pencil hidden in a typewriter bar, changed the world forever. Project Gunman didn't just find a bug, it launched the digital spy age. Not just hacker armies, but entire ecosystems of cyber warfare capabilities.